Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel for another stream. It is the match preview and my predicted starting 11 for Saturday's game. It is Arsenal versus Wolverhampton, people. Arsenal versus Wolverhampton, the table leaders versus the table bottom holders. They are at the bottom. They're literally at the bottom. They haven't won a single game this season so far. Wolverhampton is absolutely crazy in the Premier League, and they haven't even got one single win, right? One single victory, I should say, right? They haven't even got that, people. So it is Arsenal versus Wolverhampton. I mean, out of the 15 games we have played so far in the season, people, they got 2 draws and 13 defeats. So this Saturday should be a goal feast for Arsenal. It really should be a goal feast for Arsenal, right? And I think also that they are going towards being the worst Premier League team in the Premier League history, right? I remember talking about the last season derby, was it? They being the worst team in the Premier League history. Now Wolverhampton is on the course of overtaking that, people, and they really. The crazy thing is, look, now and then I tend to put on the football matches that is on when Arsenal's not playing, and I see them play a couple of times, Wolverhampton, and to me, the football they play looks pretty decent, people. The football they play looks pretty decent. But however, they can't get a single victory. Why is that? Why is that? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But we are basically going through wins, right? And we're going to take them apart, I think, on Saturday. We're really going to take them apart. Look, the last time we met them, we beat them, right? We beat them. And a matter of fact, let me show you the results, right? This is the result, basically. So let's start with the fact that they played against Manchester United, and Manchester United beat them 4-1. 4-1, Man United beat them. And they played against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest beat them 1-0. Aston Villa, I can understand Aston Villa winning that one. It is 1-0 for Aston Villa. Crystal Palace, another tough team for Wolverhampton, and they got beaten by 2-0. Chelsea, of course, a victory for Chelsea. It is 3-0 for Chelsea, right? Against Wolverhampton. And then we played against them last season away and in our home ground. In our away game, we actually won there 1-0. 1-0 was all that we could muster at that time. And then we played against them in our home ground and we beat them 2-0, right? And the third one we played against them was in April 2024, and we beat them away 2-0. That is currently the way it looks, right? That's the way we have been dealing with them pretty much so far every time we came across them. But we are coming off from a victory, people. We are coming off from a victory, and that victory was against Club Brugge in the Champions League, right, on Wednesday night. Absolutely beautiful game where our boys, the backup players, came in and performed very well, right? I was pleasantly surprised that when I seen that Christian Norgard was playing as a central defender. Look, I wasn't expecting him to play a central defender, seriously, and I thought he did an absolutely beautiful job in that role. Seriously, very well covered for Timber, right? And I thought Nuno Madueke was excellent on that night. Martinelli came into the game pretty good as well, right? The further the game went on, he was finding his feet and he was taking on his defender and beating the defender for fun, basically, right? So these are the starting 11 I played against Club Brugge. These are the starting 11 that played against Club Brugge. We had Raya in goal, Ben White as the right back, Christian Norgard central defender, together with Hinkepie and Lewis Kelly as a left back. In that midfield, we had Zupermende, right? Martin Odegaard and Mikel Merino. Up front, it was Nuno Madueke on the right and Martinelli on the left and Gyökeres up front, right? And I thought we played pretty good. I mean, the only danger that they had, Club Brugge, was their right winger, Verbs, right? I thought he was a tricky player, and he was the one that was creating problems for us, right? Most of the times whenever he came on and taking on Lewis Skelly on that side, and he was creating things for Club Brugge, but they were not effective in front of the goal. They did have some decent amount of ball possession, people. They really did have decent amount of ball possession, and I thought that the further the game went on, we managed to keep control of the game. We really did manage to keep control of the game. So for on Saturday, I'm expecting that we are gonna come out and play pretty much the same, because this is the worst team in the Premier League so far in this season, right? Wolverhampton I'm talking about, and we're gonna get the 3 points. That's what I believe, that's what I think, people. So therefore I would say let's start starting 11 exactly the same that we had against Club Brugge. That is what I'm tempted to do. I do not want to see Declan Rice. I do not want to see William Saliba. I do not want to see Jurriën Timber, because Christian Norgard did such a fantastic job at the back in the midweek game. I think he should continue playing there, right? He should continue playing there. And in that midfield, I will still play Zubimendi, Martin Odegaard, and Merino in there. Up front, I'm tempted to make a slight change on the left side. I'm thinking, should I start Gabriel Jesus? But no, Martinelli, he got his goal. What a goal it was. Absolutely beautiful goal from Martinelli. Seriously beautiful goal from Martinelli. And Nuno Madueke's goal was also beautiful, people. Absolutely brilliant. The way he went through that midfield, and the way he basically just pushed off the midfielder that was trying to hold on to him and took the shot. Absolutely beautiful for Nuno Madueke. He got that in his locker. He should be doing that very often in the games. And the second goal he scored was a tap in, pretty much. Zubimendi with a brilliant cross from the left side, and Nuno Madueke was lurking at the back and the back post, and he just headed it in. Very straightforward, very simple, beautiful work from the boys. All of them did very well in that game. So now that we actually warmed up a little bit, what should we look forward to in the Saturday's game? I mean, we need to find a little bit more information about who's available, right? And who's not available, and so on, right? So therefore, let's go and talk about the presser, right? The Arsenal's press conference, where Arteta tends to waffle a bit now and then, right? Let's do that, and we're gonna jump into it, straight into the press conference, people. And here's everything. Basically, this is everything that he said, right? Every word that he uttered in that press conference, people. And on William Saliba, they asked him on William Saliba. He said, we have to wait and see. Yesterday we didn't train, so we have an extra day between this afternoon, so let's see if he can be available or not. It remains the same, right? If you ask me for Everton game, I think he will be fit. For tomorrow, I do not know. So what's the problem with William Saliba? I mean, for a couple of days ago, right, in the weekend, he was talking about William Saliba being ready, and he's literally days away from becoming fit, right? Now all of a sudden it is almost a week on, and then he's saying the same thing over and over again, right? It's a matter of days, basically. He doesn't know whether he will be fit for tomorrow's game, so he will probably be fit for Everton's game. So we will see. What did he say on Jurriën Timber? Again, he says it depends on how he feels today. It was a knock that he picked up and he wasn't feeling comfortable. So again, I think it's a matter of days. I mean, this is when he says a matter of days, I take it with a pinch of salt, people, with a pinch of salt, right? Because you don't really know what he's meaning by that. For Arteta, sometimes days seem to be weeks for the guy, man. So I think it's a matter of days, he said, but whether it is tomorrow or not, we will see. Right, that is on Jurriën Timber. And then he was said on Declan Rice, let's see how he is today. He was ill. There is an illness. Normally in few days it gets resolved, but we have to wait and see. I do not want Declan Rice nowhere near in Saturday's game. Seriously, let him rest, let him recuperate. The guy needed a bit of a break, needed a bit of a rest, so therefore he should take the opportunity to get some rest and now play on Saturday as well. On Leandro Trossard, again, another one that is a matter of days. It sounds boring, he said, but it is a reality, so we do not know. There's a lot of things that he doesn't know now, is it? There's a lot of things that he doesn't know. He keeps saying that I don't know. Dude, you got the medics, you got the the medicals to tell you a little bit more information. Or maybe he's holding the course close to his chest and he doesn't run a reveal, right, who's available for him until the match day itself. So whether it is interesting to do it that way or not, I don't agree with, because we do want to know who will be available and who will not be available. Seriously, it's simple. This is a football, right? You should put a bit of a fright into your opponents. When you have William Saliba, when you have Trossard, when you have Jurriën Timber, I mean, teams will say, oh boy, they almost got their full strength, you know? Excuse me. They almost got their full strength. So therefore, don't keep the cards close to your heart, right? Unless you are playing against Pep Guardiola, then you can do a bit of a tricks here and there, right? On he goes to the next one. He says on keeping the momentum. They said on keeping the momentum going after midweek. For sure, he says after any defeat, you want to put it right straight away. We certainly did that. We really did that. We put ourselves in a great position in the Champions League, and now it is Wolves, people. It is the Premier League that we need to focus on. And then on facing Wolves, team without a win this season, people. In the Premier League matches, especially against teams that is fighting against result. I know the manager very well. He's going to push and get the players ready to try to cause a shock, basically. And from our side, we are going to go full gas from the beginning, and we know what we have to do. He said he is absolutely right when he says that the Premier League is a very difficult league, people. The Premier League is a very difficult league. And what teams in the Premier League play very good. They play very good football, and they can basically get a result against you if you're not careful. It's simple as that. It really is simple as that, right? So the Premier League, the most difficult league in the world currently. That's what it is. On he goes on. They said on if we have to beat Wolves to win the league. What are you guys talking about, man? What are you guys talking about? I mean, if they said that in order to win the league, you have to beat Man City, you have to beat Liverpool, you have to beat Aston Villa, you have to beat Chelsea, and so on, I can understand. But Wolf, what that has to do with anything? I mean, they're not performing at all, and they're losing games left, right, center. But this is what he said, Mikel Arteta. He said at the end, you're going to have over 90 points probably to win it. So that means winning a lot of football matches, and tomorrow we will have 3 points that we have to earn. Good thinking. You're very good thinking, right? Win all your games. Whatever that is in front of you, just take care of that. and the result and the league title will come. Just make sure that you win the games that is in front of you. Simple as that, right? So that is on beating Wolf, on winning 2 of the last 5 games in the league, right? Hopefully tomorrow we will change that. He said there will be a different from for a form table. In the last one, we are the best, so we try to win every game, and that's the only thing that we can do in terms of being as consistent as possible, right? A little bit waffling. It is a bit of waffle there, so it is what it is. They're talking about a supercomputer makes us the favorites to win the league. The only thing we can do, he said, is increase the probability of winning the next match by doing the things that we do really well and preparing the best possible way. Of course, you should be preparing for every team that comes across you, because teams are different. Teams are different from each other, right? Some teams play with the low block, some teams play with the counter attacks, and they will come at you and all that stuff. So for each team, you have to prepare differently. Simple as that. Supercomputer, they're giving us odds, good odds, basically. They go on and saying on guarding against complicity, right? Well, he said, showing them our players the team that we are, the game that we had against Aston Villa a few weeks ago, and understand that a team in that position has to react and has to show their teeth. That is a very dangerous thing, especially in this league when every team has the quality that they have. So from our side, that's not going to happen. So we do not want our boys half asleep, right? We tend to do that. I mean, we did that against Chelsea. Seriously, we did that against Chelsea. 10-man Chelsea pissed me off. Seriously pissed me off, right? So we were complacent in that game. We were not playing to our strength in that game, and Chelsea was well organized, and they hit us when it mattered, and they got the draw, right? Especially with the 10-man. And then further on, they ask him on more open play. Hold on a second, I can't even get my words right. On more open play goals in recent matches, right? We scoring from open play. That's where they are directing the question to. This is football. It has waves, he said. We try to analyze the 5 games or 10 games, and the sample is that small that you get very, very confused. At the end, even 40 games is not enough to have a sample of what your team looks like, because it is too small. The fact that we have the resource to score from various positions from different players in a different manners, that is a great thing. We want to be the best in every situation. That is what we try to do. Now, I personally do not agree with that statement itself. I said, look, if you have been playing for about 10 games, you pretty much know who's your best player. You pretty much know the player's best position. You pretty much know the system that you should be playing against teams. I mean, every team has a different way of playing, so the system will be different for every team itself, right? You have had this team for over 5 years and above, right? You should know, and the sample should be great already, and you should know exactly in your mind what to do itself. So I'd say that was a bit of a waffling from Mikel Arteta himself. On we go to Gabriel Jesus. On Gabriel Jesus returning and fighting for his spot. We know his quality, he said, a player who has given us so much, and he comes with the energy that came the other day. He's certainly a player who has to be pushing and aiming for that, and that is for sure. It is great to have Gabriel Jesus back, people. It really is great to have Gabriel Jesus back, people. Whether he will have an impact on our season or not is we just have to wait and see. Simple as that. We just have to wait and see. I think personally Jesus is more of a winger than a striker. seriously more of a winger than a striker. And we seen a bit of a glimpse of the way his finishes are against the club Brugge already, the first game that he played for us after the injury, right? That was on Wednesday night. And obviously he did try to score goals for us, but the way he took his shots, he's not really up to speed. He really isn't up to speed. He needs to do more training and so on, and he needs to play as a winger rather than as a striker, right? And the next question is on if his side is getting enough credit. I do not know that. I don't know. That's not for me to judge. He said we are in a very strong position in the 3 competitions that we have been involved in so far, and that is what we have to continue to do at the end. The credit has to come at the end of the season. He's absolutely right. That is when we are going to measure what we have done. In order to achieve that, you have to be achieving every single day the objective of that you want. So far, I think we are in a very strong position. Look, we are doing great in the Premier League. We are doing great in the Champions League. We are on the top of the Champions League. We are on the top of the Premier League, people. And we're also doing pretty well in the Carabao Cup. The FA Cup hasn't been played yet. So therefore, good answer. I think we are on a track, right? But we are getting a bit nervous because of the Man City, the Sharks just lurking right behind us, Aston Villa lurking right behind us, right? So that gap has been have become even less smaller now. It's only 2 points gap between us and Man City, and there's only 1 point gap between Man City and Aston Villa. On we go to the next one. On Christian Norgard playing central back. I think that he said, I think that comes to the mentality of the player, the intelligence of the player, like Christian as well, and how to fulfill that role. In the morning, you tell him surprisingly that he needs to play in that position because we don't have any other player to play in there. Then you need to fulfill that role. But we have a lot of examples of players that have played in different positions, like Mikel Merino, like many others, and that is great because that gives us a bit of an edge. You know what? He's absolutely right, because Christian Norgard came in that game and he performed, people. He really did perform like a central defender, and he was taking care of business. That's what you want from your player, right? He's not a central defender, but he came in there and did do a good job. He really did do a good job, people, right? That is Christian Norgard. And then on the next question is on if he is enjoying this season. Do you enjoy it a lot? No. This question is to Arteta itself. He said, I do enjoy it a lot because of the people that is around us and how we live and work together. Obviously, winning a lot helps because it is different profession when you win or lose. I feel privileged to be where I am and keep going. You know what? Keep winning. Keep winning and you will be appreciated by the fans. If you keep winning and win us the trophies that we want you to win us, right, then you will be appreciated by the fans. It is simple as that. Seriously, simple as that. You cannot go on and on and on without a trophy. This is a big club and you will be judged by the amount of trophies that you have won under the season, right? And then they ask him on if we can win the quadruple. Well, it is only the 3 points of tomorrow, and I think that's enough for supercomputer in my mind. He said, you know what, you're absolutely right. Just focus on what is in front of you at this present time, right? Just keep winning the games that are in front of you, and then you will have that result that you're looking for. I agree with you, man. You cannot just daydreaming, oh, we're gonna win the Premier League, we're gonna win the FA Cup, we're gonna win the Champions League, we're gonna win the Carabao Cup, all those four trophies, right? That is dreaming. But when you put in the work and you are taking care of the business game by game, the success will come. The success will come. On he goes to the next one. They ask him on Victor Gyökeres and the club adapting to his style. I think he said the two things have emerged. I think we have to put the player in the best possible condition to explode and fulfill his potential, right? And then there are certain things that within the role, in the manner that we play, has to be fulfilled. That is a combination of both. Then it is not only that, I think more importantly, it is the connection between, it is the connection and the players around him at the end, those interactions, and the understanding of how it develops before the injury, how it develops. And before the injury, he says, I think he was in a great place. I think it took him a while at the beginning because it is a different league, different demands. He had no preseason. Now he's starting to get some momentum and the goals will come, and we are going to be very pleased with him. Now personally, I think this is a guy that Mikel Arteta didn't want, right? I think this was Andre Berta that pushed Victor Gyökeres on Mikel Arteta. That's what I think basically. He is a good attacker. He really is a good striker, but we are not playing to his strength. We are not playing to his strength, and we need to play to his strength. You need to bring that ball to his feet, people, in order that he will do something with the ball itself. Most of the time we are just laying those long balls over to Victor Gyökeres, and he's trying to bring it down, right, and distribute it back to Bukayo Saka, Trossard, whoever's playing with him, Odegaard, the SC, and so on. You can't keep doing that. You know what, the guy is running through the channels. He really is doing the runs for you, but the ball never comes his way. The ball never comes his way. Martin Odegaard should pick his head up. Esse should pick his head up. When you see Gyökeres running through those channels, play the pass. Just make sure you make that pass so the guy could do something with that run itself. I think the way he does his runs is intelligent. I think the way he goes about his game is very intelligent. It's just he's not technical. He is more of a brute, basically. He's more of a strong bully, basically, who bullies the defenders. He's a very strong boy, man. Victor Gyökeres, he's a very strong boy. So we should play to his strength, and Arteta is not doing that. He really is not doing that. He said all of this. I can understand why he said that, because he doesn't want to look like I didn't want him and all that shit, right? So let's play to his strengths. Victor Gyökeres, if we start doing that, he's gonna bang in more goals for us. He's gonna bang in goals. That's what I believe, seriously, 100%. And then we go on to the next one. He says, they said, on having a week with no midweek match. Is that what it is? Next week coming? Yeah, this week coming, there's no midweek's game. That's very good. Well, three things he said. Make sure that we can give some rest to the players, mentally and physically, and then start to reactivate everybody and to start work on things that you don't have time to work on, right? And then just to start to be in the best possible physical and emotionally mindset to do what is required to be ready. Very, very good. That is good. Just don't overtrain the boys. Just if you push them too hard, they're gonna break down. I mean, we are playing games now. We are playing basically. What we're doing is that we are playing on the weekends, we are playing midweeks. It is too many games, right? So therefore, putting in heavy trainings in between is going to be too much. So they shouldn't be training too hard. Light training should be possible for the boys, right? That's good. On any fresh injuries from Wednesday night? No, he said. No injuries whatsoever, right? And then we go on to the next question, which is on what William Saliba's issue is. He said it was something quite small. It came from an ankle injury that he had, and then he started to modify the way he was running, and he started to overload an area, which is something common. But at some point he was uncomfortable continuing to be able to do trainings and play. We had to stop it. He looks better, but we will have to wait and see if it is enough for him to be able to train with the team again. Ankle injury, Williams Saliba did have that ankle injury, and it's troubling him. It really is troubling. It's not been able to shake it off. And you know what, when you do get an ankle injury, sometimes it takes you a month, almost a month, right? I remember I had an ankle injury when I play football, people, with my friends, basically on the weekends. So that's what we do. And I remember that I stepped wrongly on my foot, and I twisted a little bit my ankle, and it took me almost a month to come back from that one. And I'm not a professional football. These are professional footballs. They're overloading those areas very often, and they do have brilliant doctors. That it shouldn't take that long. It should not take that long to get back from that injury, right? But he's struggling with the ankle injury. On the next question, on if he would consider selling Gabriel Jesus. As it is currently, why would you sell him? Why would you sell him, right? Why would you sell him? I don't consider that, he said, especially with the situation that we have right now. I think Gabriel Jesus has a lot to offer to the team, and he has proven that straight away in the first minute that he was available to play. He put so much to be in his position again, and now the focus is to be with us. I think that is correct call. I think that is a correct call, right? But if we can get an exciting player in the January transfer window and swapping Jesus with that for him to come in, like someone like what's his name, Kenan Yildiz from Juventus. I mean, I would definitely swap Gabriel Jesus for that guy and pay some extra on top of that. He is a baller. He really is a baller, Yildiz, right? On Ethan Nwariri's attitude, he said, in the same manner that other players have to cope with this kind of situation, preparing in the best possible way. I think he's doing it. His attitude has been excellent when he has got the chance to play. He proved that I'm wrong. That he needs to play more minutes and help the team as much as possible. Look, Arteta does not like the youngster. He really does not like him. He was forced to use him last season, right? Because we did get a couple of injuries, right? He was forced to use it, and we were surprised how well he played, the boy, right? But now that he got his players back, the players that he wants, he's not giving the youngster a sniff. He's really not giving him the youngster sniff. So is it better off for Ethan Nwariri to go out on a loan, right, and get minutes under his belt and come back a better player? I think that would be the best solution, because you can't be sitting on the bench for all these games, right, and not get involved as much. That is crazy. I think he's a talented, and I think he's a good player, and he should have a part in this team, basically, and he should be playing more games. Really, he should. The next question, on him asking to play in the behind closed doors friendly. Ethan's attitude on that is exceptional. He said he wants to train, and he wants to be outside, and he wants to be in touch with the ball. In that sense, he is a top guy, right? In that sense, he's a top guy. But there's something there in between. I don't really know exactly what it is, but Arteta is not really keen on the boy currently. He really isn't. If he was, he would let him play. That is what I think, basically. That is what I think. Now, on the next one, next question, on how impressed he has been with Zubimendi. Now, we all impressed with Zubimendi. I think Zubimendi has been the signing of the season for us so far. Very impressed, because I know that he said very impressed because I know the difficulty of coming into a league and doing what he's doing immediately. First of all, you have to earn the role within the team. That is not easy to do. Then it is different way of playing as well, a different league, But as you said, the variety of actions and involvements that he has in the game is exceptional. His defensive metrics is incredible. I had no doubt that he could produce that. But this is the Premier League and you have to prove it. I think Super Mendy has been brilliant, and I think this guy plays better further up the field. I really do think that he plays better further up the field. Now, when you play as an 8, but the only question that comes into that is that, does he have the legs to play as the 8? Because I prefer when Declan Rice is sitting at that number 6, because Declan Rice does have the engine for that number 6 role. He's the destroyer. He will bring the ball back from the opponents, right? He will win those duels for you. Zubimendi is techy. He's good on the ball. He can pick a pass and all that stuff. So is he better playing as the number 8? Rather than number 6 and letting Declan Rice play as the 6. I prefer Declan Rice as the 6, right? And Zubimendi further up the field. And it works, and we've seen it work many a times when he was pushed up further up the field. In the games, what happens sometimes is that Zubimendi and Declan Rice, they interchange positions, and when they do that, all of a sudden you see the dynamic change, right? And it is beautiful, because all of a sudden you can see Martin Odegaard getting a little bit more creative and Zubimendi picking those passes through the lines, right behind the defense and all that stuff. So I think Zubimendi has been the best signing we have had so far. Yes, I'm not talking about Declan Rice. Declan Rice was years ago, the latest signings that we did, right? On you goes to the next one. On if he thought Zubimendi would need an adaptation period, right? Yes, I think the fact that he could prepare for a longer period because of the sort he knew that he was coming, and I think that helped. It wasn't something immediate that happened. So we talked a lot about it, how we are going to be needed, the challenge that he's going to face, but as well his ability and capacity were going to fit so well within the team, and he's proven that on the pitch. It's true, when you are as a player and a team wants to sign you and you start researching about what that league's all about, that is what Zubimendi has done, and it helps when you are a brilliant player as well. It really does help that, right? That is Zubimendi. On Victor Gyökeres, if Victor needs goals to get into form, yes, probably the thing that's going to unlock him is goals. You're right. He is so used to that I think he needs that for himself. But he's confident. At the end, we are going to judge his performances based on that as well. That is logical. But for the rest, I think he is in a really good place, right? I think physically he's in a good place, and now he needs to start to convert the chances that he's getting. What are you talking about, man? You are not giving the guy the chances that he needs. He's starving, man. The passes never comes his way. People. Gyökeres is doing all the necessary things. He's running through the channels, right? He is in the box, right? The passes never comes his way, man. Passes never gets his way. I think if he got every game 10 chances, I bet you he will bury about 4 or 5 of them. I bet you he would do that. But those chances are not coming as often, right? He may get 1 or 2. And when you get in a 1 or 2, and you mess it up, then all of a sudden it is all your fault, right? It's crazy to me. It is crazy to me. But anyway, we are coming to the end of the press. Man City are back to their best. There are a lot of teams involved, he said, when you look at the table. We know the situation with other clubs as well. With Man City, it is always the case that you expect them to have the quality that they have, the experience that they have in the competition. And the focus has to be on one. Seriously, a Man City is lurking right behind us, all right? And they have the experience, people, and they have the experience. They have won the league. That makes it easier for Pep Guardiola and his men to chase us down. We haven't won the league. The boys are inexperienced, but coming close so many 3 seasons in a row. I think this is the season. I think this is the season. If we don't do it this season, Arteta, get out of my face. That will be the case. Get out of my face, right? And the last question was on Arsenal in the community celebrating 40 years. That is something remarkable, he said. Probably amazing. The moment that the club started to do that, we probably could have never imagined that. Imagine where we were going to be 40 years later. But that shows where is coming from. I think the consistency in doing those things is the most difficult. When a lot of people engage and jump into things for a very short period of time, it is very difficult to be consistent. I think the impact that the club is having in our community is and in a lot of people's life is something exceptional. It needs a lot of praising. They are doing a good job and getting involved with the community. That is very good from the club itself, right? Now that we did the presser, I mean, it is a lot of waffle, but we went through the presser itself, right? Timber will not play this game. Williams Saliba will not be back probably in this game, right? Declan Rice, I do not want to see. Even if he's back, I do not want to see him in this game against Wolverhampton. So therefore, let's do the predicted lineup for the weekend, man. Let's do the predicted lineup for the weekend. This is what we're gonna do. I'm saying basically, before I do the lineup, I will say let's play the same starting 11 that we had against Club Brugge against Wolverhampton. That's what I would have done. That is what I will do, basically. Simple, straightforward. This is the starting 11. Oh, nope. Let me change a couple of things. Raya will play. Timber will be out. And Norgard, where are you? Norgard there. Calafiori is now available because of these because of the yellow cards that he has accumulated, right? Where is Lewis Skelly? Lewis Skelly has to play left back. We got no choice but to do that. There is Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly left back. Hinkepia next to him. Norgard next to Hinkepia and Ben White. And then in that midfield, it is Zupermende, Martin Ødegaard, and I would play Eberechi Eze. Right? Up front, I would play Bukayo Saka on the right. Nuno Madueke, where are you? Madueke on the left, and Gyökeres up front. That is the starting 11 I would play with for the weekend. Right? I mean, both Nuno Madueke and Martinelli did very well against Club Brugge, people. And they got us the goals that we wanted. They can do a job here as well. But let's see if Nuno Madueke can perform on the left side. He's better off on the right side. But since he's better than Martinelli, I will play him on the left side. And then we go on from there, people. And then we're going to wrap it up pretty much the stream. Let's have a look quickly on a couple of news, if there are any news, right, from AFC stuff. Let's have a look. Mikel Arteta's pre-Wolves press conference. Calafiori on Instagram. The youngster, another 16-year-old playing for us in the Champions League. It is absolutely beautiful. Mail Sport understands that the departure of Aiden Heaven, 19-year-old, to Manchester United in February was accepted internally at Arsenal because they knew they had Marley Salmons. You know, I personally think it was a mistake to sell Heaven to Manchester United. We could have used him when our defenders was out, right? We could have used him during this period. Seriously, right? That's what I think. I see him playing for Manchester United, and he's playing for Manchester United currently because a lot of their defenders are injured. So he could have been a good option to have for us, but he's not with us anymore. More about Solman. And then it goes into Club Brugge. Oh yeah, the referee that's gonna be refereeing the game in Saturday's game. It is John Brooks. No, Rob Jones. It is Rob Jones. Rob Jones has been appointed referee for Arsenal and Wolves on Saturday, and John Brooks is on the VAR. John Brooks is on the VAR now. That is all I had for you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for supporting the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See you later.